In the Lucid Universe by A.U. WamOceanic. For more information, visit WamOceanic.com. Links are in the description. Chapter 3. An Unexpected Turn. There's no denying that incomprehensible occurrences often unfold, leaving us perplexed. It's a challenge not to dwell on such events, easier said than done. We have a tendency to struggle with such incomprehensible episodes, trying to make sense of things that might defy our understanding. This struggle is accentuated by the human tendency to link unrelated events through the correlation-causation fallacy. It's a pitfall many fall into, a common mistake where we connect unrelated events and assume that one directly causes the other. In reality, they might just be coincidentally linked without any direct cause-and-effect relationship, drawing conclusions of causation where there's only correlation. This is precisely why I found resonance in Ashish's perspective. He shed light on the fallacy we often succumb to, blurring the lines between correlation and causation. I was, indeed, thinking that some strange power works in the universe and my visit to the lucid universe was causing all these things to occur. I could have accepted that it was my tendency to correlate the events when they could be mere coincidences. But, amidst this understanding, a recent event simply couldn't be shrugged off. It wasn't a mere figment of imagination or an overextended correlation. Instead, it presented tangible evidence of something seemingly impossible. The message from Swami, which he promised to send me after my dream was over, stood as an unexplainable occurrence, challenging the boundaries of rational understanding. The message from Swami had really given me some hope that I would be able to get answers to my questions about the lucid universe and my destined part in it. I was relaxed to know that it was all real indeed. As I had more queries in my head, I replied immediately, "Hi Swami. How are you and where are you? Why didn't you contact me earlier?" I was taken aback when the message didn't get sent. I tried tapping the send icon again, yet it failed for a second time. After a few repeated attempts, I decided to dial the number, but I encountered an AI voice on the other end stating,
"The number you are trying to call doesn't exist. Kindly recheck the number."
With great disappointment, I hung up and another eerie thing happened. The message on my phone vanished mysteriously. Goodness gracious! The set of events was getting weirder and weirder. At this moment, it wasn't merely a highly improbable incident but an utterly impossible event. Unless, of course, it was a trick of the mind, a hallucination, hinting at a breakdown of my sanity. Still, I was sure that neither hallucinations nor a descent into madness were occurring within me. Had it been some other occurrence, I could easily have dismissed it, but this thing was strange enough to drive me insane. I wished there was a way to rid myself of these unsettling experiences, which disturbed me, and I wished somehow things could return to normal. Unfortunately, such a remedy seemed impossible. All I could muster was to overlook the recent events, which I surely did. And luckily for a few days nothing strange happened. After a few days, I had my monthly session with my psychologist, and in the evening, I headed over to see him. As I stepped into my psychologist's office, he greeted me warmly. "Hi Sarthak. How are you doing today? Please have a seat." His calm attitude always helped me unwind. I relaxed into the comfortable armchair, while he occupied his own across from me. "I am feeling okay," I said, aiming to seem unaffected by recent events and masking my burning curiosity for every unanswered question. "And how was your past week? Anything noteworthy?" He inquired with an attentive gaze, eager to hear about any significant events or experiences. "It was all right, nothing special," I responded, avoiding eye contact, not wanting to delve into the strange events that had troubled me. Continuing our usual routine, he carried on. "How's work been? Everyone in the family doing all right?" "Yeah, things are okay," I replied, hoping to redirect the conversation from the complexities I wished to avoid. I didn't intend to hide those events from him. I just didn't want to keep revisiting them. "And how's your depression now?" I often felt that his voice had some power to persuade us, making us speak the truth. Even though I was not comfortable telling him, a part of me still wished to share. However, I finally tried to hide the truth. To be true, I was haunted by the memories of the past and I could not let go of it. There was not a single day when I did not think of Aradhya. All the dreams that I had dreamt, I did not want them to die. Deep down I lingered on to the false hope that she would come back, and this turned each day into an episode of depression and sadness. As if everything around me was telling me, "Oh, it's not going to be all right."
It's better. I'm okay.
I tried to reassure him, my tone trying to convince us both. And believe me, it was way more difficult than you can imagine. You know, he was one of those who could read your thoughts through your eyes. It wasn't easy to hide your thoughts or your feelings from him, and that day also I could not hide it with a lie. With his next question, I became certain that he had read my unshared thoughts. He discussed my breakup. And what about your recent breakup? Have you thought about moving on, maybe meeting someone new? I don't feel quite ready for that. I'm comfortable being alone, I stated. I was ready to hear his usual remark. You might deceive others, but self-deception is futile. But no such words came from him. He nodded, understanding my reluctance. I get it. But sometimes, subtle signs tell a different story. What is it that is holding you back? Nothing is holding me back. Sure, I've thought about it, but I'm genuinely fine with my current situation, I replied. Seems like you have chosen to be a prisoner of imaginations that have bare minimum possibility to turn into reality. I don't like to insist on things that someone is not comfortable with, and it's not ethically right either. It's your life, and no one else can understand your life the way you do. But we can learn from others' experiences, and I have learnt a lot. So, it doesn't harm to move out of our comfort zone to explore the new horizons that await us, or does it? I understand your dilemma, but exploring new possibilities might surprise you, he encouraged gently. I am not sure how to explain exactly what I feel. It's not about clinging to false hopes, it's about the promises I've made. His inquiry struck me deeply. Which promises, Sarthak? He queried, attempting to present his viewpoint. Promises are meant to be kept from both ends. She let go of her promise to be by your side. Perhaps it's time for you to do the same. She has moved on, so why shouldn't you? His words had a profound impact, and I felt gratitude for life's blessings, having such supportive people. He was more than a psychologist. He was a caring friend. There's a world of possibilities awaiting you, and by holding back, you deny yourself that chance. I know it's hard, but it's crucial for your own happiness. The choice lies within you. For a moment, I did not say anything and pondered if I was doing the right thing. Suddenly words came out of me. If we broke every promise according to the circumstance, trying to justify them by empowering one point of view, promises won't mean anything. Promises mean something because they are difficult to keep at testing times. Yes, I understand. But she has broken her promise, which frees you to make a choice of your own, and it's not wrong. Wrong and right differ under various circumstances. It's equally wrong to punish yourself. Think about it. I won't try to persuade you beyond this, but you can at least try to see from a different point of view. I paused for a moment, contemplating his words, before responding, I'll think about it. Thanks. The next morning, when I was in the office, Ashish strolled over to my desk with a cheerful grin. Hey, Sarthak, how's it going? Morning, Ashish. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Fantastic. Got any plans for tonight? Not really, just the usual. Why do you ask? I was thinking if you would be interested in going to the arcade for some gaming fun. Absolutely. That sounds fantastic. I'm genuinely yearning for a change from the typical routine. Cool. By the way, Milap has come back to India. I am thinking of inviting him as well. That sounds cool. I wasn't aware Milap was around. When did he come back? Milap was Ashish's schoolmate, and Ashish introduced me to him a few years ago. Meeting regularly became a part of our lives until he left India for his job. A few days back. Said Ashish. I replied. It would be great if he joins us. It's been ages since the three of us caught up. I am sure he will come. He never misses any chance to meet. I'll ask him and let you know by lunchtime. Okay. Have you chosen the venue? I'm thinking of going to Quantum Playhouse. All right. Please inform me soon. I'll also confirm in the evening. Sure. I think I will go now. See you. See you. During lunchtime, in the afternoon, the decision was made to meet at Quantum Playhouse. As I was nearly done with my day's work, I noticed Mega, a fellow colleague, heading my way with a slightly puzzled expression. I had been with the office for the past 2 years, whereas Mega had recently joined. Working at a software development company, I held the reputation of being one of the most helpful individuals in the organization. Consequently, when colleagues encountered problems, they often sought my assistance. Mega was among those who frequently approached me with requests for troubleshooting programs. Hey Sarthak, need your expertise here. As she said, her voice tinged with a hint of frustration. I've prepared this program, but it doesn't seem to be working. I can't figure out why. I glanced at her code and delved into identifying the issue. Do you think it will take long? She said with a hint of stress in her tone.
I think so.
I'm trying to find an error, but I'm not able to. But don't worry, we will find a solution for sure. The office is about to close. I hope it gets resolved soon.
Let me see.
Please have a seat. She seized an empty chair nearby and took a seat next to me. I analyzed her code, but for a while, I could not find any error. And soon, it was time for the office to close.
Oops.
I exclaimed, realizing the office hours were over.
It's all right.
Seems like we have to postpone it for tomorrow. Well, I'm thinking of fixing it today. Do you have any plans after work? Not really, why? She seemed a bit surprised. It wasn't typical for me to inquire about anything beyond official matters with my coworkers, except for Ashish. Well, if you don't mind, I was thinking of grabbing a cup of coffee right after work. I wondered if you'd like to join. In the meantime, we can also troubleshoot the program. I said, hesitating a bit. She seemed pleasantly surprised.
Oh, sure.
That sounds like a good plan. Let me bring my bag. I'll be right back. She returned promptly and asked, so, which place are you considering? I haven't decided yet. Do you have a preference? I was thinking of heading to Maya Cafe. Maya Cafe was conveniently located near our office, a place I frequented often.
Sure.
Within 15 minutes, we arrived at the cafe and settled into a cozy corner. The comforting aroma and serene ambience helped us unwind after a long day at the office. A petite waitress, her hair neatly tied in a bun, came over to take our order. I opted for a cappuccino, while Mega chose a cup of tea. We also ordered some French fries and cupcakes. As we placed our orders and initiated the program on the laptop, Mega expressed her gratitude, saying, thank you so much, Sarthak. I appreciate you taking the extra time to assist me. You're incredibly helpful. It's perfectly all right, Mega.
Not a biggie.
Moreover, I was already thinking of coming here today. I replied, and we resumed our work. Soon, I identified and fixed the issue in the program. A visible sense of relief washed over Mega's face, and witnessing it brought me a certain joy as well. Helping others has always given me joy in return. Thank you so much, Sarthak. You have always been so helpful. I don't know how to ever repay you.
Hey, why do you say that?
Aren't friends supposed to help each other? It's perfectly all right.
Still.
I feel I ask for so much help from you and you never deny. She said, filled with gratitude. I told you, not a big deal. Always a pleasure to give a helping hand. I smiled and she gave back a big beautiful smile. With slight hesitation, I asked her, what are your plans after this? Nothing as such.
Why? Nothing.
I was just thinking if we could sit here for some more time. Oh, that would be great. I was thinking the same but did not tell you as I was not sure I wasn't disturbing your schedule. I am free for about an hour. Ashish and I have decided to go bowling and play other arcade games, but he won't be here for at least another hour.
Wow.
I didn't know you enjoy playing games. It's great that you're taking time for yourself after such a hectic workday. Well, it wasn't entirely my idea. Ashish asked, so I thought, why not? So, apart from gaming and arcade visits, what else interests you? I find joy in reading, traveling, and listening to music. What about you, Mega? What are your interests? It seems like reading and listening to music are our mutual interests. I love reading books, especially by J.R.R. Tolkien, Edgar Allan Poe, Rudyard Kipling, C.S. Lewis, and series like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson. I hope you are familiar with them.
Yes, I am. I replied.
Our conversation flowed seamlessly from there, and time slipped away unnoticed. Eventually, Ashish called, hey Sarthak, where are you? I'm heading to the gaming zone.
Are you coming?
Yes, Ashish, I'm at Maya Cafe. I'm on my way out. See you there. See you. After the call, I apologized to Mega. Sorry Mega, I think I have to go now. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Likewise.
I never expected you to be so open. Honestly, I thought you were more reserved.
I am, actually.
It takes me a while to feel comfortable around others. But once I am, I open up easily. We said our goodbyes for the day as we exited the cafe. With that, we parted ways, and I joined Ashish and Milap to play games. As I arrived at the arcade, I spotted Ashish deeply engrossed in a round of bowling, effortlessly pinning down most of the balls in a single throw. That was a nice shot. Ashish turned around and said, thanks Sarthak. When did you reach?
Just now.
Where is Milap? He must be about to reach. he said and picked another bowl and threw it. So, what were you up to at Maya Cafe? And nothing much, just hanging out with Mega. She was facing some trouble with her program, so I gave her a hand.
I replied. Ja, helping out your colleague, huh?
So, is something brewing between you two?
Ashish teased.
And no, it's not like that.
I clarified. Ihaha, he chuckled.
People like you are difficult to predict. Why are you teasing me? It was just for some help she needed. As the office was closed, we thought of going to a nearby cafe.
Okay. Do not tell me.
Love stories don't hide for long. He teased me. Which love story are you talking about? Someone said, tapping on my shoulder.
It was Milap. Hi Milap. How are you?
I said, giving him a warm, friendly hug. See how Ashish is teasing me.
Why? What happened?
You didn't bother to tell me.
Milap said.
Bro, he is dating Mega. Ashish said, showing no intention of letting up on the teasing. I playfully jabbed him in the stomach. Stop it now.
Oh really?
Is it Mega from your office? Milap asked, joining in the teasing. Yes, she's from our office, and it's nothing like that. Today, after work, we went to a cafe. She needed some help with her program. Milap, with the same teasing intention, remarked, that's typically how these things begin. Yes, I am dating her. Now happy. They both chuckled and said almost in unison, sorry. We were just teasing you. Let's go to the alley. Leaving the bowling spot, we entered the gaming parlor where bright lights and exciting sounds caught our attention. Everyone was deeply lost in playing various arcade games. They both chuckled and said almost in unison, sorry. We were just teasing you. Let's go to the alley. Leaving the bowling spot, we entered the gaming parlor where bright lights and exciting sounds caught our attention. Everyone was deeply lost in playing various arcade games.
So Milap.
What's up these days?
And nothing much.
Thinking of coming back to India permanently. Currently on the lookout for a job here, I've applied to a few companies.
That's cool.
It would be great if you come here.
Yes, let's see.
It depends on luck. After that, we took a round in the gaming parlor and tried to find out which game to play. It was so easy to be indecisive among so many options. Eventually, we decided to play VR games first and then tried out other games. We walked through the gaming parlor, attracted by the bright lights and excitement, and got pulled into trying out different games. Ashish, a hardcore gamer, showed us around, playing games to demonstrate his skills. While he did really well in the racing games, I tried my best but found myself laughing at my own efforts. In the midst of screens and upbeat music, we immersed ourselves in challenges, joking around and aiming for high scores in shooting games. Time flew by in the gaming paradise, each win and loss adding to the fun. As the night was winding down, we exited the gaming parlor. It was so much fun. Ashish remarked, bidding us farewell with, see you tomorrow at work, Sarthak.
Bye, Zatak. Bye, Milap.
Good night. We waved him off as he crossed the street. Suddenly, a heart-stopping moment shattered the tranquility. Ashish, crossing the road, seemed unaware as both Milap and I shouted frantically, Ashish, watch out. Our desperate warning fell on deaf ears as a speeding vehicle careened towards him, hitting him with brutal force, causing profuse bleeding as he lay unconscious in a pool of blood. Adrenaline surged through me as I raced to his side, hands trembling as I cradled his head, trying to staunch the bleeding with a handkerchief from my pocket.
Milap followed. Ashish. Ashish.
We called out, but he remained unresponsive, his eyes shut tight. Panicked, Milap dialed the emergency number, praying fervently for help. The ambulance arrived swiftly, and I informed my boss and Ashish's family, the events of the evening turning into a haunting nightmare. We also hurried to the hospital as Ashish needed urgent help. He was quickly taken to the emergency room and soon his parents had also arrived. I realized that my family could be getting worried, so I briefed them about the situation and informed them that I would be late. After some time, I went to the hospital canteen to take a tea break, where I discovered something that shook the ground beneath me, something entirely unexpected. Despite my initial hopes of putting the recent strange events out of my mind, it appeared that they were not going to end. A person was being transported on a stretcher lift, possibly being shifted from one ward to another. His face was not covered, allowing me to easily recognize him. It was undoubtedly Swami. He was fully unconscious, with his family members beside him. I followed them and observed as the paramedical staff took him inside the ICU ward. His family was requested to stay outside. I approached them and introduced myself.
Hi, Zatak. Is he Swami?
Yes.
Do you know him?
His wife said. I know him through a TV interview. I lied and pretended not to have had any encounters with him. I further inquired, what happened to him?
We don't understand, she said with a crying voice.
One day he was sleeping and did not wake up. We tried all methods to wake him up, but they had no effect. Then he was brought to the hospital, and the doctors said he is in a coma. And how it happened, they have no idea. When did it happen? About 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. These words sent tremors through the ground beneath me as I wondered, what?
How could it be possible?
If he was in a coma before my first lucid dream, then how did he take me to the planet Sindarak, and how did he send me a message while in a coma? And weirdest of all, how did he delete that message? The set of strange incidents left me unsettled. There were more questions to be answered. Though I was determined not to correlate dreams and reality, that day's event made me give up on my ignorance. I could not ignore any of these happenings anymore. I needed to find the answers, and there was only one place which held all the answers: the lucid universe.